So now to summarize, we learned today that organology is the science or study of musical instruments. We have established in this class that we will use the S&H classification system as the most useful for our study of the world music. Among those categories in the classification system, we learned about chordophones as instruments whose sounds are primarily produced by the vibration of strings. See if you can take a moment and picture some of those examples in your mind. Hear some of those sounds. We had two primary chordophone types, lute type with a neck and zither type with no neck. We also had a category called aerophone, which is an instrument whose sound is primarily produced by vibrating air. Again, these are the woodwinds and the brasses, plus some other world instruments that maybe didn't fit very well into either of those categories. If it's sounded by blowing air across it, into it, through it, it is an aerophone. Membranophone is an instrument whose sound is primarily produced by the vibration of a tightly stretched membrane or skin, or in the modern era, plastic. Idiophone is an instrument whose sound is produced primarily by the actual body of the instrument vibrating, rather than a string, membrane, or column of air. Some of you might be familiar with Saturday Night Live and Will Ferrell, and a famous comedy routine where he was a cowbell player in a rock band called Blue Oyster Cult. And there was a very funny little comedy scene about him playing the cowbell louder.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Cowbell is one type of idiophone where you strike the body of the instrument itself. Electronophone is a modern category of instruments whose sounds are primarily produced by controlled electrical voltage, transduced or converted into musical pitches. The digital keyboards, electric bass, instruments like that, electronic organ. So you have now an overview of this classification system, and now as we prepare to move into studying some specific music from specific cultures, we will use these terms to investigate what kind of instruments they use traditionally in those cultures.